We're good.
This is your kitchen area. Obviously, you see all the framing in here. The only things I'm going to really talk about for you that you may want to know will be some of the wiring in your walls. If you notice, there's a lot of yellow wiring in your walls. All of the yellow wiring is GFCI circuits. So anywhere you have to have a GFCI for code, that's what all the yellow wiring is. You can see right now is a really good time to go see where like your gas line is. Any wiring or any utilities are going to be in the walls, it's good to see now so that you can make note of that for people if they're hanging things on walls or something like that. We do venting for our microwaves. That's this silver box. Microwave does not vent out through the attic or anything like that. It goes directly through the wall, so that's what this silver box is. You've got a 220 outlet here for electrical for a stove, and then you've also got the gas line that you guys they got for the gas?
Yep.
Yeah, so you got the option there for the gas. You got both if it's ever changed out at some point. All your upper cabinets will sit right in this location. You have your lower cabinets here and here. Upper cabinets here as well, and you'll have one of them for your fridge will sit right here. You've got your water hook up there for your refrigerator, again, another GFCI location. And right off. That's normal. Yeah. All of your cable outlets and your phone outlets. So these are all pre-wired. You can see there's wire in it already for this Cat 5 wire. Is there two of these now, right?
Not yet.
Aren't they doing a second one in the bedrooms?
Second one should be. I don't think they're doing it.
Well, we'll find it if there is. We'll see it. Anyway, so there's that.
Under cabinet?
Oh, that is under cabinet lighting. Okay.
I'll let you start with
Yeah,
that.
did they do under cabinet? So yeah, that's one thing we'll point out is all those options. So right in front of me, so back up, see this will be where your breakfast bar is going to sit. Sink is going to be located here. Dishwasher will be on the right hand side, on my side. Again, GFCI location where these yellow wires are. So this outlet on the outside that's going to be facing your living room is going to be connected to GFCI as well. So this is kind of important to know just for future reference. That's pretty much the kitchen. If you turn to your left there, so there's the pantry. Where your pantry will be, you'll have two bypass doors right here, two sets of shelves in there. We'll talk more about all of this stuff on the new homeowner orientation day, and it'll make a little bit more sense to kind of go through the guts of the house right now. Dining room. So in here, sliding glass door. Not really a lot that we really go over in the dining room, to be honest with you. All of your exterior outlets, however, so you'll notice again these yellow lines running here down to your exterior outlets. They're all connected on GFCI as well, and they'll be connected to your garage. Living room. What's that?
You got an extra one.
Yeah. You got your flat screen option here for your above your fireplace. So you've got this yellow tube, which is a 1-inch tube that's going to travel down here beside there just to eliminate wiring to your TV so you can run it through the wall. Fireplace, again, another gas line there. You can kind of see where gas lines are running above. Just gives you good reference. The fireplace switch outlet will be located right here to the left of the fireplace. Cable outlet, just like your phone outlet, is also wired. This one right here is going to be your cable outlet. It's already got the wire in there. And again, we'll talk about that on the homeowner orientation day. Oh yeah, and I was right. So there is another phone outlet right here in the living room as well. So if you wanted a modem either in the kitchen, like if you had to run a modem, you can either run it from here to the living room or one in the kitchen, just to give you options.
And that is something new since we actually sat down and built your house. It's just a new feature we added on because not everybody wants that modem in the kitchen area.
Yeah. This white loop pipe, you have two of these in the home. This is a frost-free hose bib. So the pipe runs inside the wall inside the house and it keeps it from freezing. There's a metal tube from right about here and it runs out about 10 or 12 inches. And that is where the water will drain out to eliminate that. Again, that's a really big feature thing that we do that we'll talk about at New Homeowner Orientation Day as well. You've got a pre-wire for fan. You're gonna have a ceiling fan, it looks like. So they got the blocking in there for the weight for that. Light switches will all be here. When we do the new homeowner orientation day again, there's going to be 2 outlets in your living room, most likely these ones on this back wall right here. They'll be turned upside down, so you may see that when you come in. You might have a question about it. What those are half hot outlets, so half of them will run all the time, and the other half will operate on a switch, so that if you were running lamps or Christmas tree or something like that, you can operate them off of a switch. All right, so yeah, so here's a really good area to note. So you see this wall right here is going to be your living room. So hanging pictures of things on the walls, just knowing where like water lines are at. This is going to be your laundry room on the other side. And then you got drain lines, those kind of things. So where the, I doubt you're going to put something that's low, but over there where the hose bib is at, you can see there's obviously the water line in the wall. But knowing that there's, you know, bathtubs behind the walls and things, just good to know that kind of stuff. All right, going down the hallway here a little bit. Okay, this is where your return area is. So if you look up in the attic right there, you can see all of your ductwork. You can see your furnace up in the attic. The furnace sits on a platform up there. If you want to come this way a little bit. If you look up on the platform there, you can see the furnace. You can see there's a black pan underneath it. And there's 3 condensation fail-safes basically for the unit that we do, because we put our units in our attics. So you've got a black pan that is designed so that if the primary and the secondary condensation lines were to fail for some reason, it'll drip into that black pan, and then there's a switch that will shut the whole unit down. So if you see these 2 white pipes coming off of it, that is your primary condensation and your secondary condensation. The third one would be that pan. So that stuff we talked about again as well. People are kind of don't understand what we're talking about unless we point that out. So if you turn to your left here, so this is where your thermostat will sit, right underneath your return air. You've got 2 filters that are inside this box. There's a 20 by 20 by 1 inch, which is the one you can see. And inside, on the right side of me, it'd be your left side, there's going to be a 12 by 12 by 1 inch filter. And again, we'll go over that a little bit more in detail later on. All right, let's go through the master bedroom or the area here. Above a lot of the doors and in some of the ceilings and some of the rooms, you're going to have these vents that are just pass-through vents or transfer vents, just for airflow to keep the home efficient. You'll see a lot of those throughout the home. This will be your laundry room area. Obviously, see where your water hookups are going to be here. Dryer vent, 220 will be right here behind it. Light switch. There will also be a GFCI located in this room as well, which will connect to the outlet for your washing machine. So if for some reason the washing machine wasn't working, we'll talk about that again as well at new homeowner orientation. Let's come on into the master. If you come through the door and look right up, you can see the box right there on the ceiling. This is all of your smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, all of that are going to be wired together, so they're hardwired. All of the bedrooms will have a standard smoke detector, and then right outside of the bedroom area, either in the hallways or sometimes in the living rooms, they'll have a combo unit that's fire, smoke, carbon monoxide, all of that. And that one will talk to you. Again, that's another thing we go over at new homeowner orientation. Right above your head there that's a transfer vent, or that one might even be a return area. I think you have a return area in your master here, don't we? Wait, where does it lead to? Does it lead to the? Give me 1 second. Let me look at this other room and I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, it's into the return area. It is. Yep. So you got another return area, which just helps to draw comfort to the master bedroom. Master bedroom. You're going to have a cable outlet here, yeah. So you got a cable outlet, standard in our master bedrooms. Again, that's pre-wired. And then you also have, you're going to have, looks like a pre-wire for a fan there as well. Not sure. Do you know if they chose fans on this one?
Yes.
Okay, so they are getting a fan. Or is it just a pre-wire?
It's pre-wired.
So right here, if you look down right where this white loop is, so this will be, there's going to be a door on the other side of this wall, which will be in your closet. That's going to be your whole house water shut off. So you don't have to crawl into the crawl space to turn off water, turn water on, when you're changing like faucets or something like that. Or if you were to have some sort of a leak, that's right where you'd shut the whole house off. As you come through here, you'll notice there's a closet on right and left as you come through the hallway here. So on the right and left side, there's framing here for a closet on each side. Here's her closets. On the bigger closet on the floor there, that green section of board, this is going to be your access to your crawl space. And again, we'll talk about that again at a later date. Can light options, a lot of the can light options that are in our homes, a lot of those came about from a survey that we do for Hayden Homes, which is called our Avid survey. We'll talk a lot about that. You might hear it several more times, but it's just an opportunity for you as an owner of one of our homes to be able to give us your honest feedback of the whole process. So we consider ourselves an evolutionary builder, but we can't get better without your feedback. So it's really critical to us, and we're grateful to have it. Bathtub in here is the shower surround, so you've eliminated the bathtub. You're going to have that. You'll have a glass door in place, which will slide. Light switches, light will be here. Your dual vanity will sit right here. And then to your right will be the water closet or toilet room. Yeah. So there's that. And then there's one of your options is your 2x3 or whatever. I think that's 1.5 by 2 textured window.
2x3.
Yeah. So you got that textured window there, and then there was one other, I think, wasn't there, in another bathroom?
Maybe over there. So one of the biggest questions I've had is why does the black pipe go out if it's a drain pipe?
Oh, this pipe? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know if you want from them.
No, not from them necessarily, but I figured we're here.
If you wanted to know, this pipe leading out, it's just standard to have those so that you don't get air blockage or air lock in your pipes. So when it drains, it doesn't sit there and gurgle and lock up because there's air trapping it. So this runs out to be able to relieve that pressure so it can drain properly. All right. Let's walk over here out of the master. We'll go down the hall into these other bedrooms. So this is the den option instead of the bedroom right here. You'll have two folding doors, like French doors right here as you come in. Again, a lot of the same outlets, so you can have a pre-wire here. You got wired smoke detectors. This closet right here will have a regular door on it, but you did have an option here to have, looks like a cable outlet and a power outlet inside that closet, so those are there.
The other thing, one special thing we did here is you were going to hang a TV here, so here's your outlet, and if you notice, the studs are closer together. We talked about that the other day, but just want to let you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it in this one. Oh, here's another one. So this is a really good one to know. So in your den, right over in this far, like if you were looking out the window to the far right side, is right where your line set runs for your air conditioning unit. So this is a really important place. You don't want to be driving nails and long screws or anything in the wall. Just note that and keep a record of that. It's nice to have. So.
We talk about raining out that window.
What's that?
Just talk about raining out that window only.
Oh, is that one? Is this one? Oh, yeah. So we were talking about the condensation lines that come from your heating and cooling unit. So this white pipe that runs back to the unit, it comes out here and it drips. We run it out over the window. So you'll notice that it's above this window. We do that on purpose because that is a secondary condensation line. Your primary condensation line, which also runs outside, runs down low. That's this white pipe right here. Runs down low, and in the summertime, when you're cooling, it's going to drip. So it's really normal for it to do it. It's not going to hurt anything. If for some reason that was to stop dripping and the one above the window was ever starting to drip, then that's just an indication to you as a homeowner that you need to have your system serviced or have that line cleaned out. So the only one that should ever drip is that primary line down low outside. So again, we talk about that later on in the NHO as well, our new homeowner orientation. All right, questions? Let's hit in here, right? Yeah, just the entry hallway here from your entry door in. Your doorbell is going to have a doorbell chime. You'll most likely have that sitting here. All those white wires will be running out to the garage so you don't connect it together. So come in this direction here, you'll see this will be in the little coat closet. So right through this area. There will also be, there most likely, I don't don't know if there will be an access there when they do it. They might staple that down because they don't have to have it, but there could or couldn't be an access right there for the crawl space as well. Sometimes they nail it down because it's not necessary. It's not always required, but you may have a second. So, the guest bathroom, you'll have a single vanity here. Toilet will sit right next to it, and then you got your tub, obviously. All of your bathrooms obviously have vent fans in them, and GFCI locations in there as well. So when we do the new homeowner orientation day again, we're going to talk about GFCIs in your bathrooms. Your 2 bathrooms will be connected together, and there will only be one GFCI outlet that operates them both. So there'll be an outlet in each bathroom, but only one GFCI switch. So we'll explain that more in detail. So again, another pre-fan wire right there. And then here's your other loop pipe for your hose bib on the exterior. So this is your exterior hose, frost-free hose bib here. So you have those 2 locations across the house here. That's about it. Front bedroom's got the bypass doors for closet here as well. So, and if you notice in the closet right here, this little white wire, this is going to be your doorbell, just running in your closet wall right there. So just kind of gives you an idea where things are laid out. Let's go to the garage. Oh, this is another good thing to see too. So if you notice right here, all this black pipe, this is gas line, which is running in, it's split, runs out here over to the garage, which where it comes in is over there on the far side of the garage wall. But that's good to know. Some people like to have the option to run gas lines to their laundry room. So for future reference, you can see that your gas line comes right in here and it splits right up, kind of right outside the den doors, right above my head almost. And there's a split right there, but somebody could always connect to that and run over to the laundry room. But knowing where those gas lines are, if you ever wanted that option, it's just nice to know. Your attic access for your heating and cooling unit is right here in the garage, really close to where your water heater is going to sit. Right back in this little cubby is where your water heater will sit. You got your hot cold lines there, and then it's going to be gas hookup, so there's a black line to it, which is being pressure tested right now. And then right behind you right here is, you'll notice these white pipes right here on the ground. So in the plumbing in your kitchen, you've got a single white line. It might not be white, but it could be red, but there's a single line that is a pre-plumb for a water softener if you choose to buy a water softener and put it in. But all the plumbing is going to be in for it. So buy a water softener and hook it up, it's all plumbed for it. So that's just an option for our homeowners. It's something we do standard. GFCI outlet in the garage, you'll have one here, and then you'll have one other one in the garage as well. One of those outlets will control all of the interior garage outlets, and the other one will control all of the exterior outlets on the house. The one that controls all the interior garage outlets will also control the outlet on the ceiling for a garage door opener if you have one of those. So if for some reason a garage door wasn't working, you check a GFCI switch. And again, that's another thing we'll talk about later too. If you look up, you can just see a lot of wiring. I mean, obviously it's all running through the garage here. It's going to run to your electrical panel. Your electrical panel will sit over here on the front side of the garage. Everything's already labeled for you. We go over a little bit of that at New Homeowner Orientation Day as well. Got a bunch of grounding lines and a grounding rod. You won't see this in your home orientation, but your grounding rod does run right here through the wall, and there's a piece of rebar that runs down through your concrete to put down into the ground, and there will just be a blank plate on the wall to cover it all. So if you had a question at that time, you kind of understand what that is. Exterior lights on the left and right side of the garage. You see right through the wall, that's where your exterior lights for the garage are going to be located. And then step on out here, you can see all that. So 7-foot garage door. You have a 7-foot opening here for the garage door. There's a white pipe right in front of the house. This is your exterior clean out for plumbing. If you would have some sort of blockage between the house and road, that's where they access. You'll have a planter bed right here with plants that'll be sitting right out in front of it. Grass obviously in the front. You'll have one tree in the front of the yard as well.
Does it look a lot like this?
Yeah. There.
Yeah, exactly. So Alright, let's just walk around this bit. Oh yeah, here's your additional concrete. So, the sidewalk all the way around. Your gas line meter will sit there, obviously electrical. These wires that are just poking out of the wall, these are utility wires. So this is everything that's pre-wired right now. So all of your phone lines, your cable lines, these are the wires where when you get utilities, this is where they'll come in and hook up at. They don't have to run wires through the walls or under your house. This is all they got to do is come here and hook it up. So we'll talk about that later on as well. We'll have an exterior light right here by the man door. We got the man door. Right above me right here, this vent on the wall is the fresh air intake. So the filters that we were talking about on your return air, you have a 20 by 20 by 1 inch filter and a 12 by 12 by 1 inch filter. This great little vent up here is leading directly to that 12 by 12 by 1 inch filter. It has to have fresh air coming in that's filtered. That's just mandated by your local jurisdiction to have it filtered. So. You've got several foundation vents on the foundation. You'll see these little silver vents. We'll talk about that again later on. We really want to see those open the majority of the year, but we'll explain that and show you how they operate. So this is one of the hose bibs. Like I said, when it's all finished up, you know, they'll have it screwed to the wall and everything, but if I pull it out, you can see that there's this metal tube. This metal tube from the back of the metal tube all the way to the front is typically empty as long as you don't hook hoses up to it, and we'll talk about that later on and the importance of that. But very easy to change out if you ever have to replace one, but it's an idea. Fireplace, you got your fireplace vent right there. You got your covered patio option you've chosen, which turned out great.
You got a ceiling fan pre-wire there too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So you'll have ceiling fan area to be able to wire in. Along this whole side of the house, so if you notice there's quite a bit of slope here, our excavator is coming back because they had to build this one up a little bit higher just because of the grade. So along this whole property line, they're going to dig a trench in here, and they're putting a drain line and rock in. It's going to go all the way out to the road, and it's going to expel out at the road. So it's just something we've got to do, and it'll be done prior to you moving in. The microwave, like we said, does vent. These are the microwave vents. When it gets time, it'll just vent directly out, like we talked about. Your air conditioning unit will sit right here. This will be the power whip for it. There will be a little breaker panel box right on the wall, just like the one behind you on the house behind you. It'll look just like that. So this will just be an exterior regular outlet.
So that gives you a total of 4 exterior outlets.
Yeah.
2 on the back, 1 on the side, and 1 up front.
Secondary condensation line up there.
Condensation, exactly. Yep. And then when you get ready to close your home, so if you turn back around here, you'll notice just like this house, you'll have wing fencing in there just like that. It'll also include a gate on the other side of the home, on the garage side, so all that wing fencing will be installed. That's the house.